I had recently moved to Colorado, and my husband was working all kinds of crazy hours, so I decided to find a new hobby: hiking. At first, I started hiking with a ladies' club, but then I eventually ventured out and started hiking alone with my dog. On one particular day, I set out for a 3-hour hike. I made sure to pack a backpack with plenty of water, a compass, and an extra jacket. One thing I've learned was to expect the unexpected. You can never be too safe. I had chosen to go to a mountain near where I lived. I had hiked the same trail many times, so I decided to go down a new trail. My dog and I set out on our hike. 3 hours later, I knew we were lost. The trail came to a fork that had no sign. I had taken the same route twice and ended up in the same place, lost with nowhere to go. It was starting to get late, and the temperature was getting colder. I looked toward heaven and said a silent prayer: "I need you to help me find my way, Lord." I took a deep breath and went down the trail. I was getting nowhere fast. The trail had lost some of its familiarity, making it next to impossible to figure out where I was. I tried going back the same way I had started, but I couldn't figure it out. I was cold, hungry, and tired. I hadn't seen a soul all afternoon. This mountain wasn't popular during the weekdays. And of course, I'd decided to hike on a Wednesday afternoon. I scolded myself silently for that. 2 hours later, I gave up and dropped to my knees and started to cry. I was so scared. I had heard of people who had spent the night in the outdoors with no shelter. I didn't want to be another statistic. "God," I yelled, "I'm right here, show me the way." I waited for what seemed to be an eternity and nothing. Not a sign, not a sound, not a peep. Now I was fully terrified. I didn't know what to do. As for me and my dog, all I could think of was the possibility of being some animal's dinner. The thought of it made me shiver. Suddenly, I heard a ruffle in a tree. I looked up but saw nothing. From behind me, I heard a soft voice. "This way," it said. I turned around and there was a man. He had the kindest face I'd ever seen. I don't know why, but I knew he wouldn't hurt me. So we walked for an hour together. He didn't do much talking, but I just chattered excessively. As we made it to the base of the trail, I could see my car in the distance. I turned to thank my guide, but he was gone, just the same way he had arrived. Suddenly, I couldn't believe it. I looked up and then it came to me. It was the answer to my prayers. I was guided by an angel into safety. Having realized that, I stood quietly, looked up, and gave a silent thanks to my Lord above.